According to Tuesday, January 7th spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Sharon Newman will require a hero because of the hostage situation she has found herself in. Jordan needs Sharon alive and imprisoned for a little while longer to make sure Ian upholds his half of the agreement, even while Ian Ward wants Sharon at the bottom of the river. The good news is that Nick Newman will have an opportunity to search for Sharon during Tuesday's episode of YNR. The bad news is that Nick won't be able to pinpoint Sharon's exact location. But if you have the determination, you can find a way. Some hints may eventually surface since Nick is motivated to find the clues that would lead him to Sharon. Nicky Newman will be trembling at Ian Ward's return and the possibility that he could harm the people she cares about as Nick goes on a hunt for Sharon. Victor Newman won't want Nicky to worry herself sick over Ian's reappearance, even if she will share her worries with him. Nicky will worry about her husband being in danger, even though Victor will swear he will stop at nothing to protect her and their family. It appears that Billy Abbott will eventually obtain what he wants in other places. Billy should be happy with Phyllis Summers' comments on Tuesday's show because he has been working hard to enlist her as a fellow plotter against Victor. Billy and Phyllis will come to an agreement, and their partnership ought to be formally recognized. Billy will have more time and energy to assist him in regaining control of Chancellor now that Phyllis has decided to abandon her goal of vengeance against Sharon. Don't miss what's in store because our YNR predictions indicate that Billy and Phyllis will run into some issues because of their collaboration. According to previews on The Young and the Restless, Sally Spectra will need to support Billy along the way and control his evil side. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, Jordan is committed to rescuing Claire Newman from the Newmans and re-establishing their previous manipulative relationship. Jordan wants to free Claire from the wealthy, entitled web of the Newman family and set her on an alternative course since she believes that they have corrupted her. Claire, who is relieved to be rid of Jordan and most definitely does not want to return to her childhood, is in danger. Jordan caused Claire to have a horrible upbringing, but now she has a great life and is free to choose what she wants. Of course, a major aspect of that amazing life is Claire's connection with Kyle Abbott, but Jordan will be quick to rip her away from him as well because he didn't teach her to value romance. Maybe she might eventually use a similar tactic today, since Jordan took Claire as a newborn and led everyone to believe she was dead. Jordan may abduct Claire and leave behind proof that suggests she has passed away. Jordan might have plans to brainwash Claire once more when she is far from Genoa City. Jordan might wish to persuade Claire to remain faithful once more once she leaves town. What would happen if Kyle came to believe Claire was permanently gone? Kyle might find himself searching for a lifeboat to prevent him from drowning after being thrown into a horrific sea of grief. Should such a circumstance arise, Summer Newman could be able to help Kyle feel better. In order to experience something other than anguish at that very moment, Kyle might even give in to desire with Summer. Of course, if Kyle discovers later that Claire is still alive and in need of rescue, he may have some regrets. Even while Kyle may decide to keep his grief-driven hookup a secret, the truth might still surface, particularly if Summer becomes pregnant. We'll provide you with further forecasts on all the challenges since, in any event, YNR fans can anticipate more star-crossed lover drama for Kyle and Claire. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, Jordan will cause more mayhem in the upcoming weeks. Keep checking back for updates on all the worrying news. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, Chelsea Lawson will have to choose whether or not to let Adam Newman into her heart once more. Chelsea won't take it lightly because it's a big decision that will impact both her and Connor Newman's lives. In order for them to be a family again with Connor, Adam has invited Chelsea to relocate into the old ranch house. Chelsea will be taking a significant risk because it appears that she might eventually grant Adam's dream. Chelsea is obviously struggling enough to manage her own romantic life, but she still finds time to offer Billy Abbott some unasked for advice. Chelsea may get a glimpse of Billy and Phyllis Summers together as they are about to make a deal, which is likely connected to their alliance against Victor Newman. Chelsea might start to worry that Billy would combine work and play and wind up seeing Phyllis again. Chelsea might be worried about the direction Phyllis will take Billy because she has a tendency to blow things up. The week of January 6th to 10th appears to be when Chelsea will attempt to raise some red flags for Billy. What will Chelsea be warning Billy about, given that YNR teasers indicate she will do so during an encounter? Chelsea may agree that Billy and Sally Spectra appear to be doing well together. Even if Chelsea and Billy's separation was extremely painful, she can stress that she wants him to be happy and propose that Sally could provide that. Chelsea might advise Billy to exercise caution with Phyllis because she has a tendency to cause chaos. If Billy allows Phyllis to ruin their new trip, Sally and he may not have a bright future together. Chelsea might be able to provide some advice about Billy's most recent romantic happenings, even though losing him still hurts on some way. Chelsea can advise Billy to concentrate on Sally instead than Phyllis if she notices any red flags regarding this vindictive alliance against Victor. We'll bring you more predictions on all the chaos because bad news could be on the horizon if Billy and Phyllis's collaboration doesn't work out. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, Billy might end up in more trouble than he anticipated, so keep checking back for any updates on any errors that may occur. Christian Jules LeBlanc of Young and Restless provides a heartbreaking update on the so very cruel twist. We would like to begin by wishing everyone a happy new year, but we are aware that this will not be the case for everyone. Poor Christian Jules LeBlanc of The Young and the Restless is undoubtedly. He found out that he would need to shoot a shirtless scene as soon as he got back from his holiday trip. Sadly, it led him directly to the bagels. Hopefully, though, it didn't ruin his vacation or totally sap his festive enthusiasm. However, certain things in life are regrettably unavoidable. And love scenes are part of the job description for soap opera stars. LeBlanc posted an update on Instagram on his efforts to get into last-minute form after returning from his trip. In this eerie New Year's video, he wished everyone a happy new year. However, a bed scene still needs to be completed. I'm walking now. I am in the midst of the end of the world. That's depressing, yet there is a silver lining. LeBlanc deadpanned, I think I look slimmer in the fog, but it's really foggy. Then, however, things took a tragic turn. The trainer advised me to walk, he added, and I asked, how far do you think I should walk, in order to shed the clothes I had on while on vacation? Nebraska, he added, is so cruel, so very cruel. Okay, so it's true that LeBlanc is providing this information with a tongue firmly in his cheek, but we still want to say for the record that we are confident he will look amazing for the scene. Alternatively, as Jay, oh my god, my dear friend, your humor is the best, Eddie Peck wrote in the comments. We'll be watching to see that shirt fall off, but you always look amazing. I appreciate you raising the standard. According to the most recent Young and Restless spoilers on Soaps.com for Monday, January 6 to Friday, January 10, Nick goes to great lengths to locate Sharon, Victor sends Ian Ward back to his origins, and Crazy Aunt Jordan deviates from the plan. See below for more on these teasers and more. Week of January 6 spoilers for Young and Restless. Spoilers for Monday, January 6 as Young and Restless. Ian Ward receives an ultimatum from Victor. Translation, in 3, 2, Ian Ward won't be trembling in his shoes. After being abducted by Jordan, Sharon had the most unpleasant awakening. To begin with, don't have breakfast in bed. Victoria assists Cole in making a difficult choice. She will probably persuade him to take Daddy's offer to manage Newman's publishing division. Spoilers for Tuesday, January 7 as Young and Restless. Being aware that Ian Ward is at large and holding a look here. I serve as a chaplain. Card, Victor promises to keep Nikki safe no matter what. Sharon seemed to be turning a corner just yesterday. Nick is now desperately looking for his ex-wife while making a concerted effort to keep his fears to himself. Phyllis plays Let's Make a Deal with Billy, which may be the first step in her strategy to get past the past. Young and Restless New Year teaser gives fans a taste of what 2025 will bring. Spoilers for Young and Restless for Wednesday, January 8. Nate and Audra find a crucial clue in their ongoing hunt for his half-brother. Billy receives unsolicited counsel from Chelsea, which is the only type he would want from his cheating ex. Is Nikki's chance to put an end to the worst rival for good Jordan's fatal exit arc? The scene is set, the stakes are higher than ever, and an epic confrontation is about to take place in the realm of competitive rivalry. Two titans who have been engaged in a long-running resentment battle, Jordan and Nikki, are headed for what may be the final chapter of their illustrious feud. But has Nikki finally taken advantage of the chance to strike the fatal blow, and is this really the end of Jordan's rule? We must examine the depths of their competition, the events leading up to this crucial moment, and what it means for both of their legacies in order to comprehend how we got here and the ramifications of this possible finale. The competition that shaped a time. The hostility between Jordan and Nikki was fundamental from the start and went beyond simple personal enmity. In their different fields, both men became extraordinary talents, but their paths were bound to cross. Jordan, a flamboyant and dynamic powerhouse, always tried to force their will on the opposition. Conversely, Nikki embodied the ideal of the underdog, a tenacious and cunning opponent who thrived on strategy and accuracy. Explosive conflicts, each seemingly more intense than the last, characterized their first interactions. Both onlookers and experts were astounded by how their divergent approaches produced fights that were equal parts exciting and unpredictable. But as time went on, this competition grew outside of their work environment, permeating their personal lives and forming a story of obsession. Jordan's claims of victory simply strengthened Nikki's resolve. Jordan's confidence grew stronger with each setback Nikki faced. Fans split into passionate camps, each convinced that their hero would win out in the end, and their feud became the stuff of legend. The final exit arcs build up. No one could have predicted the stunning turn that opened the current chapter of their story. Jordan's aura of invincibility began to wane. Their reputation was damaged by a number of out-of-character blunders and public disputes, which made supporters wonder if they had lost their edge. Nikki's star was rising in the meantime. Nikki's improved confidence and competence, along with a string of strategic victories, established her as the undisputed heir apparent. However, their most recent meeting was the last spark. Jordan's desperation was evident as they further alienated their fans by using actions that many considered dishonorable. But Nikki maintained her composure and used the occasion to emphasize how different they were from one another. The storyline underwent a significant transformation, with Nikki emerging as the prophet of change and Jordan now being portrayed as a waning despot holding on to power. That encounter had far-reaching consequences. Jordan was under increasing pressure to demonstrate that they still had what it takes to compete at the top level after public opinion sharply changed in Nikki's favor. There would inevitably be a rematch, but the stakes were bigger than ever. It's a fight for redemption for Jordan. For Nikki, it's an opportunity to deal their biggest adversary the last, crushing blow. Handcuffed in captivity, Sharon awakens, Jordan's insurance policy. Amidst the turmoil of the rivalry's development, the story has become even more tense due to a startling discovery. A significant part of Jordan and Nikki's lives, Sharon, has vanished inexplicably. In a terrifying twist, the reason for her disappearance is revealed. Sharon wakes up, tied in an unidentified place, and imprisoned as part of Jordan's desperate insurance policy. Jordan's reasons for taking such a severe action are yet unclear. Is it an intentional move to psychologically weaken Nikki before their rematch, or is it an indication of Jordan's mental instability as they search for any way to stay in control? A completely different dynamic is brought about by Sharon's imprisonment, which forces Nikki to face not just their opponent in the arena but also the ethical and psychological fallout from Jordan's behavior. Hostage Sharon's new hiding place in Jordan, Victor tells Ian to leave. It becomes evident that Jordan's actions are more planned than they first appeared to be when the specifics of Sharon's captivity come to light. According to reports, Sharon has reportedly been relocated to a more guarded area, making rescue operations more difficult. This action demonstrates Jordan's resolve to maintain control of the circumstance and guarantees Sharon's continued usefulness as a negotiating chip. Jordan's mysterious confidant and sporadic ally, Victor, is crucial to this evolution. Victor, posing as a mysterious mastermind, gives Ian, another important member of Jordan's inner circle, the command to step aside and keep his distance from the scheme. Although the rationale for this choice is yet unknown, it suggests that Jordan's camp may be experiencing internal conflicts. Is there a more serious power struggle going on here, or is Victor merely attempting to shield Ian from the consequences of Jordan's more rash plans? Nick's rescue strategy, the worst nightmare and hidden secrets of Sharon and Phyllis revealed. Nick, an unexpected player, enters the melee as Jordan tries to keep control. Nick, a lifelong friend of Sharon and Nikki, comes up with a bold rescue strategy to get Sharon back to safety. His strategy, which combines intelligence collection, clandestine activities, and strategic relationships, is both systematic and dangerous. However, Nick discovers more mysteries that were supposed to remain hidden the more he delves. Nick discovers startling details regarding Jordan's business and their previous interactions with Phyllis, a person whose past is closely connected to both Sharon and Nikki, as he gets closer to figuring out where Sharon is. In addition to posing a threat to Nick's scheme, these disclosures make Sharon and Phyllis face their darkest fears. Unresolved tensions, long-buried grudges, and hidden betrayals all threaten to spring to the surface and cause everything to fall apart. For Sharon, regaining her agency in a circumstance when she has been rendered helpless is just as important as surviving. Phyllis, however, has to deal with the consequences of choices she made a long time ago that are now coming back to haunt her. Even though Nick's approach moves them closer to freedom, they still have to work together to negotiate a web of danger and deceit. Victor's savage threat, Sharon's horror, and Jordan's deception of Ian. In a startling change of events, Jordan uses a crafty move to trick Ian into unintentionally supporting their scheme. Jordan uses a combination of coercion and lies to persuade Ian that his acts are a part of a larger plan to keep everyone safe. The harm is already done, and Sharon finds herself in an even more vulnerable situation by the time Ian discovers the truth. As Sharon starts to realize the entire extent of Jordan's objectives, her dread increases. She finds it difficult to hold on to optimism because she is stuck in a remote area and is under continual psychological strain. But her tenacity turns into a wordless act of resistance to Jordan's plans, strengthening her will to live. Victor's patience, meanwhile, finally gives out. Victor gives a harsh ultimatum after discovering Jordan's most recent ruse, threatening to destroy Jordan's entire business if Sharon isn't freed right now. With the support of his vast resources and network of allies, his threat is more than simply a warning, it is a promise. The conflict between Jordan and Victor adds another level of interest because it has the potential to upset the delicate power dynamics in Jordan's camp. Victor's promise, Sharon's need for a hero, and Billy's wish fulfilled. Sharon's predicament becomes the center of several interconnected objectives as the story progresses. Her dire circumstances demand a hero, and the candidates come up for different reasons. Nick, who is already far into his rescue effort, now has to rely on odd allies to support his strategy. The looming threat of Victor's vow to destroy Jordan's operation makes the growing conflict seem inevitable. In this drama, Billy, who is frequently disregarded, takes advantage of the chance to realize a lifelong dream. Billy's presence complicates the rescue efforts because of his tumultuous past with both Sharon and Jordan. Despite his seeming self-interest, his efforts support the larger objective of Sharon's release. Billy plays a crucial part in tipping the scales, regardless of whether his motivations are retribution, repentance, or a combination of the two. Victor's steadfast dedication to Sharon's safety demonstrates the extent he will go to in order to keep people he loves safe. Jordan's schemes are powerfully counterbalanced by his riches and influence. Sharon, meantime, demonstrates her tenacity by holding on to hope and finding strength in the knowledge that her allies are doing everything in their power to ensure her freedom. The battle of the mind. The psychological struggle between the two has escalated to new levels as the rematch draws near. Jordan's unwavering confidence now appears to be tinged by insecurity. According to interviews, the fighter is plagued by the fear of losing and is determined to disprove their skeptics. On the other hand, Nikki has accepted their position as the challenger who became a favorite. The pressure on their competitor has only increased as a result of their composed manner and subtle barbs at Jordan's weaknesses. Both sides are fighting a verbal war on social media, which has turned into a battlefield unto itself. Jordan's fans hold out hope for a miracle return, while Nikki's supporters celebrate their ascent as a testament to justice and tenacity. This prelude's intensity has produced an environment where every word, gesture, and action is closely examined, heightening the drama in an already tense scenario. The last battle. The world will be watching when the time for truth comes. With both fighters taking no chances, the rematch is sure to be an unforgettable sight. Regaining the dominance that previously characterized their career will probably be the key to Jordan's plan. In an attempt to remind everyone why they were regarded as the finest, they would try to overwhelm Nikki with a show of strength and violence. But Nikki is skilled at countering Jordan's advantages. Their strategy will probably center on taking advantage of Jordan's flaws and keeping the poise that has come to define them. Nikki has a good chance of solidifying their reputation as the team that put a stop to Jordan's rule if they can persevere through the storm and carry out their strategy. The question of legacy. The legacy of both combatants will be significantly impacted by this matchup, regardless of the result. For Jordan, winning would be a reminder of their long-standing dominance and a joyful return to form. A defeat, on the other hand, would validate their downfall and would condemn them to the status of faded stars who were unable to change with the times. For Nikki, winning would confirm their reputation as a pioneer in their industry. In addition to marking the end of their trip, it would also demonstrate the strength of tenacity and strategic acumen. Even while a defeat would be disheartening, it wouldn't be as terrible because Nikki's reputation as a fierce competitor would probably live on, providing opportunity for future atonement.